Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox back for another episode, and I'm absolutely thrilled to have back with me Mark Haufler and Pat Lee from the Hill Country Youth Orchestras. Guys, welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us again, Tom. We're glad to be here.
And we're here to talk about the 2025-2026 season. We're recording this in mid-September. So, Pat, maybe I can ask you, we're really at the start of your academic year. And could you just maybe walk us through what you have to do each year as we start and then as we move to some of the seasonal concerts and then into the spring?
Our academic year really begins in August when we have auditions. And we welcome any students who have any experience at all on their string instrument. And after the auditions, they're placed in an orchestra level that's appropriate for them. Kerrville itself has got 4 levels of orchestra. And Boerne, our other campus, also has 4 levels of orchestra. So students ranging from 3rd grade through high school can be placed in the proper level that they should be playing. And we then use that time in between the auditions and our first rehearsal, which is usually the week after Labor Day, to organize our instruments and make sure that students that need to rent an instrument from us have access to what they need. And then we also gather the music together that our conductors want to choose for their season program. Those are always exciting because we play real music. That probably didn't come out well, but I love country music. I love rock and roll. I love all the easy listening stuff. But for our orchestra students, we take it a notch up and work on classical music and composers ranging from Vivaldi and Bach all the way up to contemporary 20th century composers like Stravinsky. We're looking forward to a very exciting year with our students and their enthusiasm, especially after this incredible summer. What the Hill Country has been through, their enthusiasm is super high. So very excited to start the year.
Pat, do you know how many students are enrolled this year in the various orchestras you've detailed for us?
I do. I'll go ahead and start with our Kerrville campus. We have approximately 10 students in our beginning orchestra, and then about 12 to 15, I believe, in our, I would call it an early middle school orchestra, and then a more advanced middle school orchestra has approximately 12 students, and then our high school sinfonia in the fall is approximately 21 students, and then we bring in our full orchestra with the woodwind, brass, and percussion students, and that kind of blossoms to be about another 30 students. I would say we start off the year between 50 and 60 string students, and then we end the year with about 80 to 90 students total when our woodwind, brass, percussion join us.
Mark, if I could turn to you, you are, I think, the chairman of the board of the Hill Country Youth Orchestras, and this first half of the year is busy from the board perspective as well. Could you tell us some of the initiatives that we're going to be talking about at board meetings? Because I probably should tell everyone I'm also on the board, so we'll be visiting about them. But what do we have coming up from the board to help either fundraising or support Pat?
First of all, Tom, thank you for your time and efforts on the board. We're fortunate to have you as a board member. The primary activity that we're involved with right now, it's a fundraising activity. It's called the High Tea, which we've done. I think this will be the 5th year, maybe. It'll be at the Museum of Western Art on Saturday, December the 6th. You and your wife have attended, and it's a lot of fun. It's a very unique event, unique to Kerrville. We moved it a little bit closer to Christmas this time. Historically, we've had it around middle to latter part of October, and we got a call from the North Pole, and some guy named Santa Claus had heard about it, and he thought it would be more appropriate if we got it a little bit closer to Christmas. And he said he would, if we did that, he would come down here and participate. So we're looking.
Mr. Claus.
We're looking forward to having Santa Claus.
Will he bring Mrs. Claus? Will it be a sort of a date night weekend?
It'll be date day, and we historically have played bingo which is a lot of fun. And I've reported in the past that it's fun to see the ladies dressed up in their nice dresses and their nice hats and practically climbing across the table to upset their opponent's card. But Santa's never played bingo, and he's looking forward to doing that.
That probably means he's never been to the Museum of Western Art either.
Yeah.
Do you think Daryl could maybe give him a little tour?
Daryl's excited to hear that he's coming, and we have some surprises planned. It's a fun activity. We've had great response from the community. Where it's a fun event to put on, and it's very worthwhile. It's our best fundraiser that we have. We do a couple of other things too. We have a golf tournament, and that's always successful. It's in the springtime. As far as other things that we're focusing on this fall is to continue to grow our presence in Boerne. That orchestra down there continues to flourish and grow, and I'll let Pat speak to some inroads that we made very recently with a couple of the schools down there. But we would like to have a bigger presence in Boerne, and also establish some sort of fundraiser in Boerne too. And we have some ideas, and we'll continue to work on that.
Well, Pat, what's going on in Boerne?
Oh, Boerne is a really unique community, especially for the Hill Country Youth Orchestras, because we are meeting a very unique need there. I'll talk first of all about our homeschool students. These students don't usually have access to an orchestra program or a band program of any kind. It's just kind of the nature of their schooling. So when their parents find out about us, they're very excited. There is a homeschool organization in Boerne that did recently find out about our presence there, and we've enrolled a beginner strings class for them, and that has approximately 10 beginners who've never played before. And Hill Country Youth Orchestras, with a grant that we've received from the Kronkowski Foundation, is helping to provide instruments for that class. And we have also made inroads with two new schools. Actually, one's a new school. St. Peter's Catholic Elementary School is a brand new opened up school that is there in Boerne. And we met with quite a few parents and expect to have an enrollment from some of those children. And I'm very happy to report that that school has actually implemented a strings program. So we hope to work closely with St. Peter's when their school gets going this fall. We also met with the Crestmont Preparatory School, and that is a unique homeschool group lesson type of oversight. It's an interesting academy, and it goes all the way through high school. And we have had interest from students there, as well as one or two that have joined us right now. And then, of course, Boerne ISD, our high school orchestra, which has approximately 18 or so students, and they all come from mostly Boerne ISD with a sprinkling of the homeschoolers. But we really are there in Boerne meeting a need where there is not a music program that many of these children can go into.
Pat, I was on the board of the Houston Symphony in 2001, and we were having our opening night concert on the Friday. Turned out to be September 14th. And as every listener of this podcast will recall, that's 3 days after 9/11. And so between 9/11 and 9/14, there was lots of discussion. Should we go forward? Should we have our opening concert? And of course, we had an opening night gala as well. And my experience at the concert was that it was an incredibly emotional, healing experience. And I wanted to use that as an introduction to ask you, as really the music person here, how can we use music to really be a part of the healing process for all of us in Kerrville and indeed the Hill Country after the July 4th flood?
That's really a very deep question. I can tell you from a conductor standpoint, an educational standpoint, what I see in the rehearsals with the children, even the youngest beginners, is that playing their instrument together as a community takes them out of their own bubble or their own mind. They actually don't think of themselves in the same way. They see themselves as part of a community, and they try to interact musically in a way that really brings the level of playing and the level of what the music means to them to a higher level. And for a listener, an audience member, or a parent watching their child grow into this other awareness is really special. I know that I have children that are grown now who went through the entire Hill Country Youth Orchestra program, and it broadened their understanding of the world about them and relating to people, and also healing from trauma. And I think I see the growth in just 2 rehearsals. We've only had 2 rehearsals, and already the energy and the relationships that they're forming as friendships, as communicating musicians, and the confidence they have is remarkable to see. And I get the privilege of seeing it every week.
And Mark, let me take that same question, but maybe put a little twist on it for you as a chairman. How do we think through, or why should people donate to the Hill Country Youth Orchestra when there was so much devastation, there's so much recovery ongoing now and will be in the future? What's the importance of building on maybe what Pat said, but from a donation perspective?
That's a great question, Tom. And we had some discussion very soon after the flood about whether we would do the high tea event in December, and came to the conclusion that the timing would be good. We're coming out of the initial part of that tragedy and going into a recovery mode. And to echo what Pat said, we need to be able to do whatever we can to get back to a normal life. And by offering the young people in the Hill Country an opportunity to learn and to create teamwork capabilities and to express themselves in ways they probably can't express themselves normally, to be able to afford that and to be able to offer that, it's still critically important to be able to raise money. And I think our product, not to be braggadocious, but I think our product justifies that. And we're certainly aware that there is a need to help people outside of the youth orchestra world, but there's also a great need to help the people within the youth orchestra world, primarily our students, because it is a part of their healing too, that we can be a small part of.
Pat, I'd like to end by asking you if you could maybe highlight for us the fall concerts you have planned and what we traditionally look forward to as sort of end of calendar year holiday celebrations from the Hill Country Youth Orchestras.
Oh, certainly. Our first concert is I believe it's December 7th. Yes, it's a Sunday, and it's at 3 o'clock at the Callow Theater here in Kerrville. And it will feature all 4 levels of our orchestras. And typically we focus on songs for the younger students that are familiar to all of us as kind of little folk songs, with a Christmas carol sprinkled in here and there. And then our older students learn a variety of orchestra pieces. And I won't speak for their conductors because they're still tweaking that, picking out things that they know people will enjoy. And our high school students will be performing a wonderful Baroque concerto by Vivaldi. And they will also be playing some contemporary music. We have a very beautiful tango that they really love playing. And the highlight of the piece will hopefully be an overture by Rimsky-Korsakov, and we are looking forward to playing some traditional holiday special music too.
Well, Pat and Mark, I wanted to thank you again for coming down to visit with us, and I look forward to continuing our conversation throughout the year.
May I make one comment before we
Sure.
sign off? I wanted to thank Pat for everything that she does for this organization. We've had to, over the last couple of years, pivot in a couple of different directions, and our success is largely contributed to her love and care for the kids and for the program. And Pat, I just wanted to thank you.
Thank you, Mark. But it really takes a team. We have a fantastic team.
All right, guys. Thank you again.
Thanks, Tom.